All right, guys. We are finishing now because we've been speaking about the fact that Satan is now focusing now on the world, not necessarily on the Israelites. There is no need, guys, now for Satan to focus on the Israelites. Why? Jesus' blood is available for everyone because we all came from Adam, who came from Jesus, who came from God, to understand. So the blood is available for everyone. And now Jesus speaks to everyone, from every nation, every language, every tribe, every race, you understand. So he can't necessarily now, Satan cannot necessarily focus on Israel. As much as human beings can be stupid and telling us about Israel, telling us about Israel, wasting our time. Guys, when people are telling about Israel, I quickly turn off whatever I'm listening because I don't have time. There's no need to focus on Israel right now. There's no need. It's just unnecessary. Telling you about Holy Land, my leg, Holy Land, my food. You understand? There's no Holy Land here. It's just nonsense in the making. So Satan is busy now focusing on the whole world because now, you know what? Damn, this guy has been defeating me every step of the way. He's giving me clues, I fail. The guy is born, I fail to kill him. Finally, at the cross, I think I've got him. Damn, I didn't get him. It was him who planned that. So Satan is angry. So what he does now, go straight to the people, to the ends of the world. And right now, he can't even accuse. Before he could, he could go and accuse Job, could go and accuse that because these people are spiritually dead. They had his seed. But now, blood of Jesus, guys, is available. So I no longer have his seed. How can he go and accuse? I mean, guys, who the hell he is? Who the hell is he? So he can't come now and accuse because, guys, it doesn't make sense. I don't have your seed anymore. You understand? So what he uses most is the flesh. The flesh loves money. As I've explained, guys, that with money, it's difficult to know how far you can go unless you understand what needs are. And everyone understands what needs are. If you don't know, Google it. You understand? You'll find it. Your shelter, the clothing, the food, you understand, the waters, you understand. Those things don't need to be expensive because why? It's need. They are necessities. Just because the world is busy telling us to live for luxury, comfortable life and dream this and dream that, it doesn't mean that it is so. It doesn't mean that. So those who belong to Daddy know that. But wolves in churches, busy running for these things, they're calling them blessings, wasting our time, wasting our bloody time. You know what I mean? So Satan, guys, is busy. He's using the flesh, the fact that we love money. As I've explained, that money was not created by Daddy because when Adam was in the Garden of Eden, he will blink, guys, he will pluck and eat. But after he died spiritually, after disobeying Jesus and partook of Satan's nature, he was removed, he was uprooted, from the kingdom of heaven, and he died spiritually, and he was banished from the Garden of Eden. Yes, from the Garden of Eden. And then money after that, because it was now the setup, that was the beginning of the setup of Satan, the rulership of Satan, you understand? The governance, of Satan, because Adam, while he was in the Garden of Eden, he was under the governance, under the rulership, under the setup, under the leadership of Jesus. After he sinned and died spiritually, the reign of Satan started. That's why Satan is called the God of this age. Many times when people say, God has done this, God has given me this, they're actually referring to Satan, but they don't know. But, well, it is their business. Doesn't matter. What we're trying to say is that, guys, so money was created after the setup, the rulership of Satan. You understand? So everything created here. We might say that condoms came from Satan, drugs came from Satan, and computers and phones came from Jesus. No, nothing. It came from Jesus. I don't even think anything we see here on earth Jesus would have created if it was under his setup. No. Everything is just the setup of Satan. But Jesus is like, oh, okay, it's not their fault. They were born under this setup. You understand? So we need to understand that money did not come from Jesus. That's why he doesn't love money. That's why he tells you not to love money. But you really have to have it, because if you don't have it, you can't have your needs met. You understand? That's why I explained that so much, because you need to understand. People think that God created money, so he wants me to have money and be rich and everything. No, he wants you to have money so that your needs will be met, not so that you will run after the things of the world and these things we call earthly blessings. No. He didn't create money. It came after the setup after the reign of Satan. You need to understand that. That's why it says, do not love money. You know what I mean? And nevertheless, guys, Satan uses our flesh now, because our spirits now, we who are wise, we decided to take the blood of Jesus and say, Jesus, I'm allowing you to remove the sin of Adam in me. So my spirit is recreated. I've gone back to my Father. I have the seed like my Lord now. But the flesh still the same. I've already spoken about that. The flesh is still the same. So Satan uses the flesh a lot and the mentality, because if you've lived here on earth for 30 years, you've been learning nonsense from the tree of good and evil, because the tree of life was removed when Adam was banished. And you will find it in paradise, in the renewal of all things. But right now, whatever we learn here at school is actually about the tree of good and evil. That's why Jesus was not interested in our education, because it's nonsense according to him. When we live here, education is left behind. It's okay if it entertains you on this side, but once you live here, it doesn't help you one way or the other, because it's from the knowledge of good and evil. You understand? So Satan uses our flesh a lot. You understand? Our flesh loves money. It's the character of the flesh. Love the things of the world. It's the character of the flesh. You understand? Sex outside marriage, the character of the flesh. Doing our own will is the character of the flesh. So when I see a person entertaining these I've just mentioned, it's because they are empty-minded. So they live according to their flesh. A person who's empty-minded lives according to their flesh. Here on earth, you be told you are classy. You are, we call it luxury. Wow, this one, living a luxury life. You are classy. It actually means you are empty-minded, because you are allowing your flesh to control you, because you are empty-minded. You understand? Because this is the character of the flesh. I usually mention those sins on purpose, because they've defeated everyone. That's why here on earth, everyone is failed Jesus, because they don't understand these things. It's hard. Even if you do understand, guys, it's still hard, because the flesh is still flesh. It's not going to be numb. While you can get used to not doing these things, the flesh is still flesh. So for me, I usually tend, when I realize that a person has taken over, has been taken over by the flesh, I remove myself, because I need to give myself a chance to fight. You understand? It's imperative, guys, that I need to give myself a chance to fight, because if I allow you to get closer to me after you've given into the flesh, and everyone has given into the flesh, I'm also going to give into the flesh, because, guys, why? I also have this flesh which is not immune to sin, because just because I'm trying to obey and make it to Jesus' kingdom when I live here, because see, guys, obeying Jesus is about you making it to his kingdom when you live here. So you obey his teachings because of that, not church's beliefs, but Jesus' teachings. It's because you want to make it to where Jesus is. You understand? We need to make that clear. So my flesh is also giving me problems as much as everyone, but I need to fight. And because of what you call this influence, I tend to get rid of people whom I've realized that, okay, they've given into the flesh. Doesn't matter. I love you. You my family member. You my friend. Whoever you are. If you've given into the flesh, I run away, because I need to make sure that I'm still fighting. I'm giving myself a chance to fight. You understand? So Satan is running after everyone, giving people money, giving people riches, giving people these things we call blessings. You understand? You watch TV, this advertisement, you find that they showing these, and guys, these things, they look so good, these expensive flashy cars. You think, wow, God has blessed me. We put stickers on our cars, we say God has blessed me, lying through our teeth. He said, do not love the world or the things of the world. They don't come from the Father. Clear, precise, doesn't need any interpretation. You can choose to ignore it, but he has already said it. You see, guys, just because people who go to church have chosen to ignore the word, it doesn't mean that the word is not there. The word is still written. That's why I always say that people who go to church can't make it to heaven. Why? After knowing the truth, they decided to live according to lies. It's their prerogative anyway. You understand? So Satan uses such things. You understand? We're seeing these expensive upmarket places, houses. We go after them because we think we are blessed. No, these things are blessings for those who belong to the earth. The God of this age is giving it to them. He's actually their sponsor. You see, guys, you don't need Jesus to have money. You don't need Jesus to have riches. You don't need Jesus to have the things of the world, to be blessed by things of the world. You don't need Jesus. Satan is a sponsor of that. But Jesus will make sure that your needs are met. Not talking about luxury and this thing we call comfortable life. All that's rubbish. People, guys, who go to church have decided to ignore the word, but it doesn't mean that it's not here. That's why I don't listen to pastors. I read the word, and I tell you, don't even listen to me. Read the word. You understand? So Satan uses our flesh a lot because our flesh is in line with the word. I mean, with the world, and also in line with him. Satan is spiritually dead. Our flesh is dead. You understand? If you've gotten saved, your spirit has been dealt with. But after getting saved, you continued in sin and listened to lies and went along with lies. Obviously, you can't make it to the kingdom of heaven. Obviously, you will die spiritually again because sin kills spirit, not physically. You won't die physically if you sin. Go to churches, only sinners are there and they are still alive physically. Then nothing is going to happen to them physically. They can live up to 120. You understand? But they are dead spiritually because sin kills spiritually. Human beings, when Jesus created them, he did not create them spiritually dead. So when they sin, they die spiritually. We die and we lose his nature. We become like Satan. So people in churches are spiritually dead. They are not dead because they go to church. Churches were meant to give us the undiluted word of God, but they are dead because after knowing the truth, they continued in sin. I want you to know that. You understand? So Satan is busy, he's filled with fury because he knows that his time is short. You understand? His time is short, so he wants to take as many as possible with him. Right? So verse 17, it says, Then the dragon was enraged at the woman and went off to wage war against the rest of her offspring. Which are the offspring? Those who keep God's commands and hold fast their testimony about Jesus. That's the offspring of the woman. That's why I said in the beginning that the woman, you might include Mary, but it's not necessarily woman, Mary. But at the same time, Mary is the one who ran with Jesus. Was running away from Herod with Jesus to Egypt and also to Galilee because trying to hide Jesus from Satan. And Satan was running after, Mary and Joseph and everything. But it actually means the church, but the church that Peter was a pillar of, the church of Paul's time. This church, they can't because their preachings aren't in line, with the word. You see, guys, with Peter, you read his letters, they're in line with Jesus. You read Paul's letters, they're in line with Jesus. You read James' letters, they're in line with Jesus. You read all these dudes' letters, they're in line with Jesus in the Gospels. Yet you go to churches, pastors have their own beliefs, telling us to pray to Mary, telling us that there is no hell, telling us that Jesus daddy works together with ancestors, telling us that there's this thing called progression of marriage. When you live here, you go to your husband, So their beliefs are not in line with what Jesus said in the Gospels. But John, James, Paul, Peter, their beliefs in the letters are in line with Jesus. You understand? So that church, you understand, is still on. And it says that then the dragon was enraged at the woman and went off to wage war against the rest of her offspring. Those who keep God's commands and keep fast their testimony about Jesus. So Satan, after that, he ran after them. That's why after the cross, if you read the Acts of the Apostles, things happened. They were scattered. Satan was running after them, trying to divide and everything, fighting, making sure that it doesn't get out. And guess what? I have it. In this generation, I have it. And even worse, I've got proof of the authenticity of the Bible. Jesus still does that, what he revealed to Moses, what he revealed to Daniel, what he revealed to Paul, he will reveal to you in this generation because his kingdom is for everlasting, the everlasting kingdom, you understand? So he reveals the same thing about his kingdom, because it's still the same, you understand? So Jesus wants to make sure that it's still on. And guys, if Jesus did not write the word, I don't know what would become of us because pastors are preaching their own thing. Jesus decided that the wolves must go about and open churches and preach all these riches, earthly blessings, and forever forgiveness and prosperity. You understand? That's leaving us with nowhere to worship, nowhere to fellowship, you understand? But Jesus is saying that Satan would go and now is in a rage at the woman, which is what? The church, and went off to wage war against the rest of the offspring. Those who keep God's commands. If you keep his commands after getting saved, meaning after you remove the sin of Adam and hold fast to the testimony about Jesus, not the testimonies you hear in churches about blessings and riches. That's not just his testimonies, that's Satan's testimonies, you understand? So guys, now you understand. Until next.